bricks, so I'm aiming to kill. Set up and the men's don't give a fuck, you can still get drilled. All I wanna do is crush that porn. My niggas them told me make peace before you go to war. I said fuck that, I wanna drill now and then drill some more. Smoke my man in the face, yeah that point got scored. Couldn't give a toss about law. Niggas no CB. More time if it was done by the 7, it was done by me. I ride for my G's, put my heart on the streets. So if you see me, that's not my teeth. So chat tough and I'm spinning round. Ask the ops how that spin the sounds. When I spin the banks, try and know that's a nigga down. And where I'm from, we always know to keep things around. All the risks that the team be taking. That's why my nigga Nero's.
What's good, everybody? What's good? Bruce Gas. Salute to you, Bruce. Hope you're good, brother. Hope you're good out there. Who's that? Mr. Johnson, the dusty foot. Hope you're good, Mike. Hope you're good, Bruce. Right, let's get into it. I haven't been on the airwaves for a long time, so it must be 6 months now since I was last on here. So I thought today I'd just go on for a bit, just talk about this Conor Benn situation and shit what's going on over here, and other boxing talk as well. Keep doing what you're doing as well, Bruce. I've been watching some of your live streams. I watch a lot of live streams now, but I don't comment in them anymore. I just flicker in and out. But yeah, keep doing what you're doing, Bruce. Doing a good job out there, brother. So what was I going to talk about? Yeah, so first of all, let's talk about this guy, Conor Benn, the one and only Conor Benn. First off, let's just rewind it back a little bit. I don't want to go too long into this because I've made quite a lot of videos about him. I don't think there's anyone on YouTube who's been on this man's case more than me, but I've been on his case for a while, from the days of him fighting Stiffs, the hype train. I just don't think he is what he is, and now he's a drugs cheat. So he's get rid of that now. So now, as we all know, he failed 2 VADA tests. He's gone away, kept very quiet, didn't do anything on social media or anything like that. Then just before Christmas, he dropped a tweet on Twitter saying that next year he'll be back in the ring. So obviously these guys knew that this was already sorted out with the WBC. In my eyes, it was, because the tweet, if you read the tweet, what he come out with, it was, "I'll see you next year. I'll be back in the ring." He's gone away, kept himself training. Anyway, now the guy you can't get him off social media. He's tweeted this week, top 5, any place, anywhere. Him and Errol Spence have been going back into, because Spence called him a drugs treat, and he was calling Spence piss can or piss head out, what we call over here, drunk. So it's the man's arrogance what I don't like about this fella. It's nothing to do with him personally. It's the arrogance of how this man conducts himself and thinks that he can pull the wool over people's eyes, and just him and Eddie Hearn can just walk around. Salute, Tyrone. Hope you're good, bro. I'll give you a ring later. The way how this guy conducts himself and thinks that he can pull the wool over people's eyes. Well, he ain't pulling the wool over my eyes. So anyway, like I say, he's gone away. He's come back with this 270-page document that he's... just before this document come out, he said that you wait till you see the science. I've got top lawyers and scientists working on this to work out how I became contaminated. And then he comes back with the most basic thing ever, what you can just go online and read. that he's had too many eggs. So he's come back with this 270 page document of science, and then he's just dropped it down saying, "Oh, been eating this 30 eggs a day apparently, or 38 eggs." I've heard different versions of this, 38 to 30, 30 to 38 eggs a day. Bullshit. No way on earth. That little dude who weighs 147 pounds is not eating 38 eggs a day. Fucking no chance. I'm twice the size of that guy, and even I don't eat nowhere near 30 eggs a day. I don't even eat 30 eggs a week, let alone 30 eggs a day. So him and Eddie Hearn think that they can spin the wool over people's eyes, and people are just going to believe it. Well, I'm sorry, but the British Boxing Board of Control don't believe it. You got asked to go and prove your innocence in front of them. You told them to get stuffed. You didn't turn up. Then all of a sudden you ripped up your boxing license, said I'm never boxing in the UK again, spat your dummy out, the toys come out of the pram. Now you're suing the British Boxing Board of Control for £3 million, which he probably will, because the British Boxing Board of Control is a private funded organisation. I thought it was government funded, but it isn't. It's private. And Conor Benn and Eddie Hearn have got millions and millions of pounds. So somewhere down the line, they're going to push the British Boxing Board of Control into a corner where at the end of it, British Boxing Board of Control are just going to say, do you know what? We ain't got the money to take this to court and all that. So they'll throw the towel in. You mark my words. So Stormy, salute to you, bro. Hope you're good. Hope you're good out there, brother. So yeah, this guy now is suing the WBC. What am I talking about? Andrew 100. Salute to you, bro. Hope you're good out there. So yeah, Conor Benn's just come out now and he's suing the British Boxing Board of Control. What makes me laugh is Eddie Hearn, go on YouTube. When Jarrell Miller popped dirty, he made endless videos screaming from the rooftops about him. He's a cheat. He's a liar. He could have killed not just my client, my friend Anthony Joshua. He did the same thing about Canelo Alvarez. Next thing you know, he's hanging out the back of Canelo, and it just can't. He's that far up Canelo's arse. He can taste what Canelo's eating. Andrew Charles, salute to you, brother. Thanks for coming through. Hope you're good out there. So it's just a load of bullshit. I mean, I know I keep making videos about him, and I keep saying I'm not going to make any more videos about him, but what I just don't like this guy. How he thinks he's invincible, that Conor Benn and Eddie Hearn can just walk around, do what they want, cheat, pop dirty twice, somehow smooth it over with the most corrupt man in boxing. And let's not forget, Conor Benn removed himself from the WBC rankings a year ago. Right? He wasn't even ranked in the WBC a year ago, but now, all of a sudden, he's ranked in the WBC rankings. Now, because computers do me fucking head in with these updates. And now, if you look at the pattern, there's 3 fighters who have popped dirt in my eyes who have all gone back. When they've gone back into the ranking system, they've all gone into the WBC. Canelo Alvarez, Tyson Fury, Conor Benn. There could be many more, but they're just 3 to my knowledge. Now, Conor Benn, like I say, wasn't ranked in the WBC rankings a year ago. Why have the WBA not ranked him? Why have the WBO? Why have the IBF not ranked him? But he's gone straight into the WBC. He hasn't even got a British boxing license, so he can't fight over here. So where are you going to go? You're going to go to the States. That's if they have you. But I mean, to come out with the most basic thing of I've been eating 30 eggs a day, it's just fucking unbelievable. It's unbelievable. The cheek of this man, the fucking pure ignorance, the cheek of that they think that they can just do it. Simon Jordan, what did Eddie Hearn on Talk Sports to drill him with questions? Eddie Hearn's ducked him. He went on Talk Sports, but he made sure that Simon Jordan wasn't there to ask him the questions. Why have you never gone and faced Simon Jordan? Conor Ben's now tweeted today that he's going on Piers Morgan to talk about this, how it's ruined his life and all this. Okay, you're going on Piers Morgan because you know Piers Morgan won't ask you the questions. Why have you not gone on Talk Sports and gone and faced Simon Jordan? Where's the proof? Where's the B sample? There is no fucking B sample. It's the same. Dillian White's another one. Where's his B sample? He was ranked in the WBC. Man gets a pass. It's just fucking bullshit. But, like I say, you ain't pulling the wool over my eyes. You dodged the British ranking system. You dodged the fucking the European system. Went straight into the world rankings. You never faced McKitson. You never faced David Avavisian. You never faced Josh Kelly. You just went fighting fucking dug up fighters like Chris Algieri, Samuel Vargas. For God's sake, man. I think my son could have knocked him out. I mean, don't get me wrong, they were all right fighters in the day, but they were washed up when he faced them. Absolutely washed up. And now this, like I say, this guy's going around saying he's gonna fucking sue this and sue that, and fuck him anyway. If anyone wants to get on, you're more than welcome. So just to wrap it up, like I say, just to wrap this part of this up, because I don't want to be speaking about him too long. For me, you're a drugs cheat, Conor Ben. I tweeted to you last night. I told you that I think you're a cheat. You've got no proof of these brand of eggs, what you've been eating. You've got no B sample, and nothing. And now you're saying that you're fighting a top 5. Man's coming out and the Matchroom are talking about fighting Manny Pacquiao. Fucking hell. Another washed up fucking, don't get me wrong, Pacquiao was a good fighter, but isn't Pacquiao like 40, so late 40s? I don't know. I don't even know how old Pacquiao is, but he's very old in the boxing world, and he's fucking really old. Well, he's not old in age. Stormy want a link. Yeah, I'll shoot you on, Stormy. He's not old in age, because I don't consider 40 old, but in the boxing world, it's old. And especially when you've had as many hard fights as what Manny Pacquiao had had. I'll shoot you a link as well, Tyrone, if you want one, mate. Just send Stormy this. Just sent it now, Stormy. It should be on its way. I don't know what the fuck have I done here. Cancel. What the fuck? What have you done? You fucking muppet. Why all the fucking time, man? Can you still hear me out there? I don't know what's happening. My fucking computer's playing up. Does someone put... Yeah, if you can. I'm back here, but I don't know what's happening. Someone just put one or something if you can see me and hear me. What's Johnson put? Old dusty ass. Fucking hell, Johnson, you dusty ass ninja. I hope you fucking cut them toenails, Mike. You dusty fuck nigger. Well, I'm joking. Yeah, so anyway, I don't know if I'm still live or what, but I'm going to go on to the next part of this. This always happens to me. This is why I don't go live much anymore. So I just get constant shit from these fucking Microsoft computers. Right. Let's talk about this. Josh Taylor and Simon Jordan yesterday. Simon, if you go on YouTube and type in Talk Sports yesterday, Simon Jordan drills Josh Taylor about not fighting Jack Catterall, and it was brilliant. Another one. Ask simple questions. Are you fighting Jack Catterall? Next thing you know, Josh Taylor's dummy comes out. He starts saying, "Yeah, how many times do I tell you? I will be fighting him, but I've got to fight. I've been mandated to fight Teofimo Lopez." How the hell does Teofimo Lopez even get a shot at fighting Josh Taylor when he come up from 135 and had one fight at 140? Obvious, because they're both top ranked fighters, and Bob has got a foot in the WBO, which Josh Taylor holds. So it's just, this is more like I say, corruption and boxing. He was due to fight Jack Catterall. Yes, he had an injury, but now he's blaming Ben Shalom and Jack Catterall for not making this fight. You've had ample opportunities to fight Jack Catterall. Ample opportunities, and every time you fucked him about. I've lost all respect for Josh Taylor now. I still think he's a good fighter, but the way how the man conducts himself after that, you know, a true champion, which he is a champion, can't take away from him what he did. You know, he went to everyone's back garden and cleaned up. So you can't take that away from him. But when he fought Jack Catterall, he overlooked him, which I did too, and I think half of the boxing world did. He got beat fair and square. Okay, it's not your fault. You didn't make the judges make that decision. But you, as an honourable man, should have said, right, Jack, let's run it back straight away. And you didn't. You've just gone around saying Jack's a crybaby and he's this, that, and everything. And now you're not fighting him. You're saying that you think Teofimo Lopez is a better fighter and an harder fight. Very well could be. But for me, you should have run it back. Jack's got no chance now getting any of them belts unless he goes and fights one of the champions, like Regis Prograis, I'll talk about that in a minute because these two have been going back and two. Not nasty at all. These two have been going back and two as just trying to make a fight. Now I know Jack's fighting soon. I don't know who, but it's penciled in that he's supposed to be fighting at the end of this month. I've seen Stormy, you did a video that Regis is fighting someone soon. So I think this fight's in the making, but somewhere down the pipeline. And if it is, tremendous fight. Regis, one of my top 5 fighters at this current moment. Most definite, probably in the top 3. I do believe that I think Regis is probably the best 140 fighter, I think. Man can't get a fight. Everyone's ducking him left, right, and centre. But Jack says, "Yeah, let's bring it on. Let's do it." Jack Catterall, crafty little fighter like Stormy. I was speaking to Stormy the other week, They're both southpaws, so that make it really interesting, which I didn't know. That so that was good pointing. I knew Jack was a southpaw, but I forgot because I haven't seen it. In fact, that's a lie because I did see Regis's last fight against oh god, the guy we get forgot him, Zepeda, is it? Yeah, and the Regis knocked him out in the end. But yeah, if they make that fight, I'm more than willing and more than happy to watch that because I think that's a great fight. The 140 and the 135 division stacked at the moment. But yeah, like I say, just quickly go on YouTube and type in Talk Sports and watch that interview because this man here, Simon Jordan, I know he looks like a geek, but I tell you what, the boxing world needs more sports correspondents or sports journalists, whatever he is. But the world needs more people like him because this guy is a very, very clever man, and he doesn't hold back on. He's not one of these people who just beats around the bush and just softens fighters up with soft questions. This man goes straight in, and he sees the bullshit. So if he sees the bullshit, he's not scared of fucking telling it to a fighter. Look, why are you not doing this? Why have you done that? Why have you done this? Why have you done that? The world needs more, especially over here, because over here, I don't think there's too many people like that. Carl Froch is a bit like that, but we can hear you. All right, cool. But a lot of them are pussyfoot around. Well, salute to you, brother. But salute to you, lads. Long time since I saw a live. Hope you're well. Yeah, it's been 6 months, man. I think it was September or something like that. I hope you're good anyway, Volts. I know you're not too far from me. I forgot now where you told me where you live, but I hope you're well, brother. I hope you and thanks for coming through. But yeah, quickly, Regis and Jack Catterall. If that fight can be made, that would be brilliant. That. Who would you go for? I'd have to go. And this is biased, but I'd have to go for Regis. I just think Regis is a very. I don't know. It'd be a good night's work for both fighters. Regis, obviously, in my eyes, hits harder than Jack. But he's a technical fighter as well. Regis is an intelligent fighter. Jack's got that old, like, sort of, dare I say, like, I don't know, a bit like Jack Dempsey style, where he sort of like leans with his shoulder and that leans back and leans forward, popping his jab. I don't know. I think it's a good night's work. But for me, I think I'd have to go for Regis on this. And that would only be being biased. And that's being honest. That's being biased because I do like Regis Prograis. I think he's a great fighter. I think the man's a dog, man. He just doesn't take shit from anyone, and he's willing to fight. And I was reading a thing what he put on his Instagram, a quote from a year ago where he was saying that he was feeling like he was going to give boxing up because he wasn't getting any chance, and he was just like fighting scrubs and stuff, and no one was giving him a chance to go at a world title. And then when he did, bang, he come back. So I don't know. Good night's fighting for anyone. So what's the next topic? Let's go just quickly to Anthony Joshua and Franklin. For me, this is a must-win fight for Anthony Joshua. A must-win fight. I actually think this is a very good fight, and I'll tell you the reason why. Because Franklin is a hell of a lot better, or is he? Now listen to what I'm saying carefully. Is Franklin better than what I thought, or was Dillian White washed up? I think it's a bit of both. I watched a couple. I've heard of Franklin, but I've never seen any of his fights. And before the Dillian White fight, I sat down and I watched a couple of his fights. And one fight, what stuck in my mind, I can't think of the guy's name now, but it began with P. His last name was something P. And he struggled against that guy. But I noticed he had quick hands and he's quite a good counter puncher. But I think at the same time, I think Dillian White was washed up. I don't think Dillian White was ever the same after the Usyk fight. Not Usyk, after the oh God, what's his bloody name? The Russian guy who flatlined him, Povetkin. But Franklin wasn't in shape, I told them, but they didn't want to listen. Yeah, no, Mike. Yeah, I know, yes. And if he comes into shape, which I think he will do, I think it's a good fight, man. I think he's a lot better. I give the guy credit. I watched that fight. To me, he won that fight against Dillian White. Hands down, he won that fight. Without shadow of a doubt, he won that fight. But he didn't get the decision, which I thought was a shame, especially when he come all the way over here. And like you say, Mike, he wasn't even in shape, but he still pulled it off. I expect Anthony Joshua to win. Will he win? I don't know. Because frankly, you have to ask yourself, what has Joshua got left? Is he still hungry? He says he is. I mean, he's gone to Derek James now, but I think all this changing trainers, it doesn't always work. And if I'm honest, in my eyes, I think out of 100%, I would say 70%, I don't think it works. It can work, of course it can. Because other fighters, when they find other trainers, I mean, look at Lennox. Lewis Lennox was a good fighter anyway, but when he found Manny Stewart, he was a completely different guy. Same with Klitschko. When he found Manny Stewart. So it can be done. Joshua's still, I did a video on this a few weeks ago. Joshua is still one of the youngest heavyweights out there. I mean, I know is he 32 or something, but a lot of them are like 35, 36, 37, Wilder and stuff like that. Joe Joyce, 37, 38. So in the heavyweight division, in boxing in total, I consider someone in the mid-30s, it's like football over here. I consider that, especially if you've had a hard career fighting, a lot of fights, but Joshua's no stamina. It's going to be the same exact thing. The difference from AJ is the combinations on his chin. What do you mean by that, Mike? Do you mean different from Dillian White? The Dillian White fight? For me, Anthony Joshua's hands down 10 times better fighter than Dillian White. Dillian White's always had sloppy footwork, not the best defense, but he's always had more heart than Joshua in my eyes, more balls. But I think Joshua's he's got a better jab than him, uppercut. I think he's a better technical fighter than him. But like I say, I think this is a good fight, and I think it's a worthy fight for a comeback, especially after 2 losses on the bounce. I think it's a good opponent. Some people are saying it's not. I have heard some people say that, but I give Franklin credit because I thought he was going to be, if I'm honest, I thought he was going to be shit. But he wasn't. He fucking duffed Dillian White up. And he's got fast hands for a chubby lad. He's got very, very fast hands. And he can take a dig as well. So, yeah, I think that's a good fight, me. And it's a must win for Joshua, I think. Because if he loses this, where does he go? This is probably his. I know you've got to build yourself back up, but if he's I was talking to someone at work. If Joshua's very clever, he could actually hang around just fighting mediocre fighters and age out Fury and all them because they're all older than him, Usyk, and all of them. Hey up, he's here, Stormy. Hey up, Stormy. You alright, bro?
Yo, what's good, man? How you doing?
Mm. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Just let me turn my computer down a bit. It's a bit loud.
Hey,
Yeah,
man, mine is acting up too, so I know what that's
yeah.
like when the damn
I
computers
don't know
don't
what
want
I
to
did
act right.
before. I sent you a freaking link and he threw me out.
No, it just took me a minute because I had to restart mine. I had it on sleep, but ended up having to restart it.
Yeah. No worries.
Then my camera was acting up and everything. I'm like, man, it's funny how, this is technology. It's like it has minds of its own now,
Yeah. So
So
quickly, Stormy, because I'm going to be on for about half an hour. But
yeah.
just running through the eight. I don't know if just quickly. Anthony Joshua Franklin. I think that's a good fight, me personally. I think Franklin's a lot better than what I thought he was. And I think he definitely beat Dillian White in that last fight. And this is a must win, I think, for Anthony Joshua.
Yeah, it's a you know what? I don't think it's a must win for Joshua. I think it's a fight that it's interesting that they take Franklin instead of taking White because White got the decision, even though the consensus is people felt like Franklin won the fight, like you just said.
Yeah.
But it's not necessarily a must win for him. What Joshua has to do is find his way of competing in a fight where he's contested again. That until he gets over something like that, he's never gonna get to a new level. The level right now where he is, it's an indecisive level. It's like you don't know because think of it like this: Usyk is not a killer, but he's
No.
a very skilled fighter, and Joshua couldn't overcome that. What
Yeah.
about a killer that's going to come for Joshua and try to take his head off and not going to be afraid of him, that is willing to back him up, put some hurt on his ass, things of that nature that can happen in the heavyweight division? That's what you want to see him get prepared for
Yeah.
because the other guys out there that he hasn't fought yet, that people want to see him fight, that's what they offer. So it's time for him to start making adjustments and everything. And as you said,
Most definitely. Yeah.
as you said before I came on, the fact that he needs to, uh, you know, focus more inward than outward. You could change all the trainers in the world. You could have Eddie Futch, Angelo Dundee, and Emmanuel Stewart, and all of them in your corner at one time with a different voice. It ain't gonna make a difference if you haven't got your mind right.
Exactly, Stormy. Exactly, bro. Totally agree there, Stormy. He's never been the same he's never been the same since the Ruiz fight. He's like Broner when Broner fought Maidana. He was never the same. He was like gun shy. Like he didn't.
Well, I think even with the Ruiz fight is this. I don't think that Ruiz getting the victory over him is what made him the mental fragmented person that he appears to be. I think that the lies that his handlers have told him and the fact that when he came over here to face Ruiz, the fact that the corrupt part of the sport got to him and he didn't think that that could happen to him, it happened. I don't think he's gotten over that yet. And anybody listening can take that any way that they want. But one truism is the corruption of boxing got to him, and he hasn't recovered from it. Hearn wasn't able to protect him from it, and he did the utmost and most foolish thing in signing a lifetime deal with Hearn. So it's like I really question, whether. And don't forget, after the first loss to Usyk at the press conference, when they asked him on the dais, they said, "Hey, what would you have to tell somebody who's getting into boxing? What would you have to share for them?" And his answer was very revealing about himself. He didn't speak of boxing in the affirmative. He spoke rather apprehensively. And again, when you've had a great ride where people have shielded you, protected you, looked out for you, kind of cleared the path for you, you've really had it easy. It's really hard to say.
Yeah.
If you've come up hard and you've had some setbacks and you had to overcome and persevere, push through, then you'll have a more solid foundation to state, hey, what to do in that affirmative. But he doesn't have that. And you have to understand that Hearn is the consummate liar. So he's not going to get better under those auspices. He has to. Derek James can tell him technical things and all of that stuff, right? Whatever. But he ain't going to be able to fix the ticker, and he ain't going to be able to fix the thinker.
Yeah.
And let's not forget this last point right here that is very important. He's a multimillionaire many times over already. He's had a taste of the good life. He hasn't starved. He hasn't been shut out or frozen out of things like he's threatened to do to other people during his career and everything. Now it's time to peel, get off the pot. So there's a lot of pressure there. There's a lot of pressure there. And, pressure bursts pipes, and diamonds are made out of pressure as well. So think about it like that.
Yeah. True. Yeah, I agree, Stormy. For me, just quickly, because I want to go on to the next subject, but for me, I think, like, I don't know. I think I do think Franklin is definitely a worthy opponent, especially when you've lost 2 on the bounce. Like like you just said, he's got that much money. Is his heart still in it? I don't know. But like you say, we will soon find out anyway, Stormy. He's talking a hungry game, but is he hungry? I don't know.
Well, it's kind of hard to be hungry when everything has been laid out for you.
That's what
his opponents, Joseph Parker, the fight that he had against Parker. Remember, the ref wouldn't even let Parker fight Parker's fight by getting close to him, trying to fight on the inside. The referee stopped that at every beck and call. The fight against what's the guy's name that they got the late round stoppage, and he was just starting to come on. The other heavyweight, what's his name?
Carlos Takam.
There you go. Takam. That fight, I'm like questioning, because earlier in the fight when he was kind of handing Takam the business, they could have jumped in and stopped that, but they didn't. And then when AJ started fatiguing late in the fight and Takam started coming on, AJ threw a couple of shots at him and the ref jumps in and stops it. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? And then, guys like the human caveman in what's his name? Pulev. That guy didn't try to win. Soon as AJ kind of hit him with something hard, he was like, okay, I think I'll lay down now. It's like
he's back on him.
Big old caveman looking to a caveman is supposed to be a savage from what I understand. But this dude comes out there and he was like Charmin, tissue paper, bro.
Yeah.
Which served it because he delivered a lot of shit. Excuse my language on your channel. But that's what he did. Charmin and Ish. go together. So him, AJ, and Pulev, all of that, that's what that was. You
Yeah.
know me, man. I'm gonna tell it like it is. People
Yeah.
cannot like it and all of that. Hey, that's what tissue is for, to wipe the top and the bottom.
Yeah. Just read these thingies quick. Mike's put, nah, AJ wasn't the same before the Ruiz fight. I say after the fight, but, well, saying that, he got concussed on the build up to the fight. He didn't seem the same in the camp. Michael's put, Takan Mister what Suarez, whatever that is.
I'm of the belief that his fight with Ruiz in June in Madison Square Garden, there was some corruption going on there. I stated that a long time ago. Won't revisit in detail. The information is out there on streams. I've talked and even did collabs and talked about it. But I believe corruption was afoot there. And I have to say, one person who may have cashed in mightily off of that was Ed Hearn.
Yeah. I've heard stuff like that before. Excuse me.
Yeah.
I've heard stuff like that before. I mean, I can remember the build up to the fight and where he did that interview where he's got all the lumps over his face, and apparently he got fucking knocked all around the ring and in sparring and stuff like that. People said he got drugged the night before the fight and the build up. He definitely. Just let me read this comment quick. After Klitschko, we seen Joshua get worse fight by fight. Yeah. I agree there, Volts. I think that was probably he never seemed to be the same. Andrew, that's a good point. Like what Mike said before, he seemed to have lost that savageness after the Klitschko fight. But yeah, just getting back
because
quickly.
Everybody was kissing his behind, and Hearn sold him on pipe dreams, telling him, "You're gonna be the man. You're gonna be bigger than Ali. You this and that, dude." They had a plan, and that plan didn't consist of the likes of anybody that can possibly challenge that or take that away. Meaning Fury, meaning Wilder, meaning any of the other heavyweights like Ortiz, guys who could have threatened that.
Oh yeah.
Remember, Hearn went through the measures of signing Ortiz and putting him on the shelf so he couldn't fight him. You know, it's like, man, we've seen these songs before, right? We've heard these tunes. It's just that it's happened at different times through the history of the sport, and also in different weight classes and everything. But man, this is some real foolishness going on here, man.
Yeah. Do you know what, Stormy? I think that's. I'm going to come to this guy in a minute, and you might. I know you like him because you're like me, but whether you agree with me or not is two different things. But I believe the same thing with Luis Ortiz. At one point, go back 5-6 years ago, Luis Ortiz was the most ducked heavyweight. Nobody wanted to fight him. Nobody, because he was a threat. A technical southpaw fighter from Cuba was a good fighter. And I do believe the same with Joe Joyce. And if you just hear me out, the reason why I'm saying this is because I'm not saying Joe Joyce is the same as Luis Ortiz. I'm not saying that. What I'm trying to say is I do believe that Frank Warren is aging out Joe Joyce because what let's look at it in the big picture, right? You got Frank Warren's got Joe Joyce, Daniel Dubois, Tyson Fury. All three of them fighters fight under Frank Warren, right? He's already chucked Daniel Dubois with Joe Joyce a year ago, 2 years ago. So he got pushed aside. Now they had the back and twos with Wilder and all that, and it took him years to sign the deal and go back and fight the third time. But they did that. Now, why he never made the AJ fight? You could blame Eddie Hearn for that. I do. But if you think about it, after when he said that he was fighting AJ and it never come off. And then AJ ended up fighting Usyk twice. In between, after that, why, when Joseph Parker got beat off Joe Joyce, why did they go and fight Derek Chisora? Why did they not make that fight with after? Because if you think, I could be wrong, but I think if I can remember correctly, I think Joe beat Joseph Parker before Fury fought Derek Chisora. Why has that fight never been made? Why did they not make that fight after? And both of them fighters, remember, Stormy, they fight for him. Because I watched an interview with Tyson Fury where he was saying, I can't even get a fight. So I'm fighting Derek as a last stand.
Well, the politics between Chisora and AJ are real strange and fruity. Derek Chisora has come out publicly and talked about how good a friend of Joshua he is, and he would never fight him in the ring. I thought that was interesting, since that they like to resurrect Chisora all the time, like Frankenstein monster, throw him in there against guys. He could make his biggest payday as an opponent of AJ's, but that's neither here nor there. But let me say this about Joe Joyce.
Yeah.
Joe Joyce has proven something about heavyweights that start late in life, and he's actually a living embodiment of it. He's getting better fight by fight.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
This stoppage of Parker far exceeds the fight that AJ had with Parker.
Yes.
Think about it.
Yeah.
Now, of course, he's got this big fight coming with Zhang, which is going to be interesting because Zhang is a big man.
I think that's a cracking
and he's strong. And, you know, even though we know that Joyce could take a good punch, you don't want to take too many from a big dude like that.
Yes, agreed.
And he hurt Philip Hergovic. He hurt him several times in that fight. And let's not even leave Hergovic off the table, because that's another opponent that AJ should be facing. He should be facing quality opposition. Now, I know Franklin had his battle with White and everything, but AJ should be fighting somebody that make us say, if he beats this guy, it proves that he's XYZ. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's not what they're doing. They're still surrounding him with eggshells and cotton balls and hoping that he treads lightly. I don't like it. But Warren is also, he's trying to stack the deck. He's trying to do a Don King thing, but it ain't working because he don't put on fights. Don King had a stable of heavyweights, and he could put on heavyweight matches. He would make them fight each other. They would jockey for position in the rankings. And then he had an undisputed champion at one time, and then at other times he had fragmented belts, titles that he could have these guys fight for. That's the one thing that Don would do. He would put on fights. These guys are just trying to stock the cupboard and put a padlock on the door, but you got all these damn heavyweights out there that ain't fighting. So what are you doing? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, this is what I'm going to say, Stormy. This is why I say, right. Just quickly go back to what you just said about AJ, right? About fighting Ergovic, Zhang, or Frank Sanchez, any of them. I totally agree with you. But what I'm saying is, if AJ, for me, I think Franklin's a worthy opponent. If he dusts him aside, then he goes and fights someone like Ergovic, Sanchez, or Zhang. Then I'll start. Then to me, I think that he's going in the right direction, going up the ladder, slowly working his way back up. If he's fighting them fighters,
Laws, the only reason they fought Usyk is for the same reason that they made the mistake in selecting Andy Ruiz. They never thought about Andy Ruiz being a guy that, even though you can body shame him, they never thought about the hands that he had. He can fight.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Usyk is a very talented boxer. They only saw AJ's size, and that's what they look at. They know that AJ has a strong punch. He doesn't have a real power punch, but he's a strong guy at 6'6" and 260 pounds. He's a strong man. So, they're looking at him the wrong way. But there are other strong men out there too who can fight.
Yeah.
So your muscles and everything, you might look good at a photo shoot and in the gym pumping barbells and everything. But dude, you ain't whooping on nobody. You ain't. We know that Tyson Fury is bigger than all of them, right? But he can box. Tyson Fury can box. At the end of the day, anybody that get in there runs the risk of being outboxed by him. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and you look at Joyce, and he's getting better fight by fight. When Joyce begins to understand, and it could be coming very soon, when he begins to understand that telephone pole-like jab that he has can take him through almost anything, because he can already take a punch.
Yeah.
I don't think his chin is as great as many people may marvel that it be, because if a big man hit you right, you could still be in trouble.
Of course.
But he can take contact. We know that.
Yes.
But now comes that next phase for Joyce. I would have rather seen Derek James work with Joe Joyce than to work with AJ.
Yeah.
Because I can guarantee you what James could teach Joyce, Joyce would be the heavyweight champion for the next 5 or 6 years.
Right. Yeah. Well, the thing is, though, Stormy, Joe Joyce is his own worst enemy, because he's still with Frank Warren, who will never give him that opportunity. The only way, right, you got to look at it like this, right? Frank Warren is exactly the same as Eddie Hearn. He's just an older, wiser model. He's exactly the same. He's got Eddie Hearn had Dillian White as a pawn, and he had AJ as the king. He basically just wanted to throw Dillian White as cannon fodder to anyone who was a threat near AJ. And I feel the same with Frank Warren as what he's doing with Tyson Fury. He's got Tyson Fury as his king, or whatever you want to call it, and then he's got Joe Joyce and Daniel Dubois as pawns or cannon fodder. But he's already put. I mean, I can't knock him for that, because that was a good fight, the Daniel Dubois and Joe Joyce fight. But he got wiped out 2 years ago. And now he won't put, and he's put fucking Parker in front of him. He's putting all these tough men in front of Joyce. Like you just said, Zanga's a fucking tough dude, man. I didn't know he was that good. I think I heard Tyrone or someone speak about him. I'd seen pictures of him, but I'd never seen him fight. I watched the Ergovich fight, and I thought, fucking hell, man, this guy's not a bad fighter. He's a big dude. He can take a punch. He can hit a punch. He can hit. He's a hard night's work for anybody.
You're talking about Zhang, right?
Yeah. But
he got a serious Achilles, which means that he ain't gonna go far. You know what that Achilles is? Mm-hmm. He lazy. He don't want to get in the best shape that he could get in.
Mm. Yeah.
He don't want to. He's carrying too much body fat.
Yeah.
In an age where it's easy to trim body fat and get it off of you, he's carrying too much of it. The first guy that can take a little bit, that decides to go to his body, gets him out of there. You ain't gonna knock him out hitting him on the chin. Yeah. You're gonna knock him out by going to his body. He's lazy. When you look at his body don't say road work. It don't say conditioning. it says, you know, General Tso's chicken and Mongolian beef. That's what it says.
Yeah.
And I'm serious.
Yeah, I agree. He's one of them type of fighters who Zhang, I know he's not on that same par, but he's, to me, what I've seen of him, he's sort of like one of them fighters who's like, how can I best describe him? Someone like totally different.
Why do you think he lost to Filip Hrgovic, which I thought he won that fight?
Yeah,
but
I did. Yeah, I did.
But he lost because he wasn't in the type of condition to make separation in the fight. See, these guys, a lot of them, bro, they come in too big. They come in carrying too much weight. I talked about
they are.
Joyce and Parker both coming in too fat, fighting each other. These guys are too, and the trainers and coaches don't want to put the pressure on them because they're scared they're going to get fired or whatever. Fire me then. Your ass ain't going to go no further than the nearest restaurant at the end of the fucking block. Get your ass in the gym, train.
Fucking hell, yeah.
Yeah, I'm telling you. You got to be in condition, bro. You got to be in condition. And having muscles in boxing, that ain't conditioning, bro. It ain't. Tyson Fury is proof of that. He's not body beautiful, but he can fucking box. It's still the difference there. And I'm not just pumping him up, but what you have to do is you have to be more than just somebody with a punch. You got to have boxing skills. You got to have ability to take it. You got to be in condition, shape, because he can come in there at a blubbery size and lay that weight on you and wear you out. So it's like you got to be a conditioned guy. Evander Holyfield beat a lot of guys that were bigger and stronger and younger than him, but he whooped their ass because he was in great shape, could take it, could fight, and could box. There was a combination of things that he brought. You know what I'm saying? You can't be one or two dimensional. Lennox Lewis talked about that. Be a 5-dimensional fighter. Don't be in there just, I got a big power punch. You may never even freaking get to land it. Remember Lennox Lewis against Razor Ruddock? Razor Ruddock had one of the biggest power punches in the division at the time and found himself asleep by round 2.
Yeah. I used to love Razor Ruddock, man. He was fucking. I was devastated when Morrison beat him. Mind you, I like Tommy as well. I did like Tommy Morrison.
Man, he broke Ken Lakusa's collarbone with that left hook, with that smash. He hit Ken Lakusa in the chest, broke his collarbone. He put Michael Dokes to sleep for like 12 minutes.
Fight, Dokes. Yeah, Dokes wasn't a bad fighter neither. I mean,
no.
He was all right.
You would have thought he had overdosed on cocaine the way he was laying on that canvas because Razor put his butt to sleep.
Yeah, I loved him because he's Jamaican. My old man loved him. That uppercut and that hook. Yeah, Razor. Fucking hell, when he had 2 fights with Tyson were brilliant. When the first one, when Tyson stopped him and he's like, Richard Steele, like, what are you doing? No, fucking
Richard Stop him Steele. That's what my boy used to call him. Richard Stop him Steele, because he got to stop a fight as fast as he can. And Ruddock's fight against Tommy Morrison is a barn burner too.
Yeah, that was an epic fight.
Man, when Tommy hit him with that left hook and he went flat, dude, it looked like he got shot.
Yeah. That was the thing with Razor. He was like his own worst enemy. He had a great punch. He had power, but he had a suspect chin, didn't he? If he caught him.
Well, you know what? His chin wasn't suspect. He had a decent chin, but he spent so many fights and nights trying to knock another guy out that he got knocked out. That's why you don't do that.
Leaving himself open.
If you watch Razor Ruddock's fights before he fought James Bone Crusher Smith, he danced on his toes and threw combinations like Muhammad Ali. When he fought that battle with Bone Crusher Smith, he realized, I could really punch if I sit down on my punches with these guys. And he stopped moving around. Razor had great legs. He could dance around that ring, bro, and throw fast combinations. He stopped doing that after the fight with Bone Crusher Smith.
Yeah. I'll never forget Bone Crusher Smith when he flattened Bruno over here. Anton with a spoon. I remember listening to them as a little kid on the radio. The very well, in fact, tell a lie. The Tim Witherspoon one. I watched that next day on replay on I think it was on ITV or BBC. But the Bone Crusher Smith one, I stayed up with my dad listening to that on radio when Bone Crusher come over here. And Bruno was doing all right for about 8 rounds, and then he just burnt out.
He run out of gas, and you know why that is? Those muscles.
Yeah.
Those muscles. Muscles weigh more than fat, man. They require far more oxygen too.
Yeah.
And that's why if you look at who Bruno was knocking out, most of his knockouts was before the 7th and 8th rounds. After that, he ain't got nothing.
Yeah. But yeah, just quickly, Stormy, because I'm going to wrap it up and get off in a minute. But
you ain't going nowhere. Ain't Michael out there in the chat?
I was waiting for that. I had something for him. Where is he? I had something for him because I just thought he might show up tonight. So I had that for him.
Oh, fucking twat.
Dusty Foot Johnson. Yeah, just quickly, Stormy. Even though Joe Joyce, I think, can be out of shape sometimes, especially that when he fought that guy during COVID and he come in like a record heavy. Joe Joyce is very tight, though, don't you think? He's not one of, even when he's like a bit out of shape, he's not flabby. He's very he's tight, isn't he?
He's a big bone guy. He's a big bone guy, which is why I, as a coach and trainer, wouldn't cut him no slack. Get your fat butt down to 240 pounds.
Yes,
I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
But and 245 at the highest, but nothing over that. Get your lazy butt down, cut that weight off, and get in supreme shape. Because a fighter like Joe Joyce, with the abilities that he has, if he came in 240, 245, that's right around where Lennox Lewis was at his best. He could really rule in the division. He could.
Yeah.
With that 260 plus and all of that. Because you have to figure, Laws, that's what he'll weigh in at. But when he comes into the ring on fight night, you're fighting a guy that's damn near 280 pounds, if not close to 300. No, that's not acceptable.
Too heavy. Mike's a hater. I think Tyrone's a hater as well. I don't think they see what me and you see. And I'm not too sure about Tyrone, but I know Mike don't think he's all that. He might not be all that, but for me, listen, I will openly.
Well, I didn't say he was the greatest, right? I said he's getting better with every fight.
Yeah. Me too, Stormy.
See, that's something that I couldn't say about AJ. AJ was not getting better with every fight.
Yeah.
He actually regressed, which is a shame because do you realize that AJ was like 26 years old or something when he won the title? And it's like he's now 33, and it's like, what have you accomplished besides making the first Mexican heavyweight champion of the world and the second former undisputed cruiserweight of the world? You gave him the belt so that he's damn near undisputed for a second time. Get out of here. Go sit your butt down somewhere.
Yeah.
And you're thinking that a new trainer is going to just fix everything for you. Last time I checked, Derek James' gym didn't say Mr. Fix It outside.
Yeah. I just think Usyk's he's just one of them guys. He's like you said, Stormy, I just think some of these heavyweights are overweight, too big, and I just think Usyk's he's a technically better fighter a lot of these heavyweights, if all of them, and I think he just uses that small size to his ability because he can zip in and zip out. You know, by the time they've thrown a punch, he's already clocked them twice.
Right.
And plus he can hit them with the counter. And he's got better boxing IQ than them.
Right.
Well, definitely than AJ. He proved quite easily that he can handle someone like AJ. But someone who can take a punch and put relentless pressure on you, for me, Del Boy did show that first 2 or 3 rounds, the blueprint that he didn't like it when he was in there with Del, but I don't know. Has Usyk got better? I don't know. I'll just read these comments. I'm going to have to jib off because I've got to sort something out. Michael Johnson put the time Witherspoon had was nice. What? Time Witherspoon has a nice huge. I don't understand what he means by that.
He meant to type Tim Witherspoon.
Oh, right. Lol, he ain't going nowhere, Tyrone. He don't need James. He needs Nate Campbell because his Ras out everywhere. Yeah, pretty much, Mike. Honestly, the top 4, he's the late shot physically. His issue's always been mentally. Yeah. Right, Stormy. Thanks for coming through, brother. I'm sorry to end it short, but
oh, it's okay, bro. It's like, thank you for
care,
having me on. I figure I just show you some support and come out here and talk a little boxing with you. Are you going to be able to watch the fights tomorrow?
No, and this was one of my things, and I'll tell you the reason just quickly. This was one of the subjects I did want to bring up because of these fuckers. I'm done with these, mate. Done with them. And I'll tell you the reason why, Stormy. Because when they first come over here, it was £2, which I knew it wasn't going to stay that for long. Then it went to £8, which I knew that wasn't going to stay for very long. But fair credit to them. Over 2 years, it's only been £2 and £8. And now, because of the loss, I read about the losses. They've lost millions and millions and millions of dollars or pounds, whatever. So now, Stormy, they fucking more than doubled the monthly description. They've gone from £8 a month to £20 a month. And what's pissed me off is, Stormy, that I'm an existing DAZN customer and they put up a chart of 3 things what you can get. £100 up front for the year, or £10 a month sign up for a year, or £20 a month and you can cancel at any time. But obviously I only just found out that there's only 2 options for existing customers. Excuse me, it's £100 up front or £20 a month. For new customers, it's £10 a month. I ain't paying £20 a month for fucking DAZN. There ain't enough. There ain't enough fucking stuff on there for £20 a month. Do you know what I mean? And then you want to charge £20 a month plus.
Hearn has been, you know what? He has been burning through money through people, man. When he came over here with that $1 billion trying to sign up fighters, then he stole almost 200 million from the Saudis, and now he's pulling this stuff with DAZN, man. Somebody needs to send his ass to jail, bro. Seriously. Somebody needs to send his ass to jail for fucking thievery, embezzlement, burglary, grand theft, all of that shit lined up with his fucking photo right under it, because that's him, man.
Yeah. He did the same thing with Sky Sports, so Stormy. When he first, I mean,
and they're glad to be rid of his ass too.
Yeah, they fucking ousted him out. See you later. They got rid of him because he kept making all these fucking fights pay-per-view. And at first, everyone was chugging along with it. And then a couple of the hardcore fans start banging the drum. And then the casuals start banging the drum. And then in the end, Sky like, well, hang on a minute. Why are views going down? Because all your fights are pay-per-view. They were fucking Sunday tea time fights or a Wednesday night fight, not a fucking Saturday night pay-per-view. The fuck out of here with that shit. So,
yep. See, at least they were smart enough, and they put on some pretty damn good fights without his ass, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't Shields and Marshall on Sky?
Yeah. Well, that's it, because now Ben Shalom's gone there, and I'm not saying he's the greatest, but Ben Shalom's gone to Sky, and he's sort of like, he's resurrected Sky again now. You know, he made the Cal Brook fucking Khan fight within a month or two of being at Sky. Something what Eddie Hearn couldn't. Took him nearly 3 years to try and do it, and he still couldn't do it, even though he told the whole world that this fight was happening, and it never happened. You know, and now he's gone to the Zone, and look what he's doing at the Zone now: pay-per-view this, pay-per-view that. The Ryan Garcia and Tank Davies pay-per-view.
Yeah, he sold the audiences America too. Like the Zone is a monthly subscription, and you don't have to worry about pay-per-view. And then he signs Canelo, and then he says Canelo's going to be on pay-per-view. And then it's like, man, you are double talking. You know, that's why somebody need to really, man, I would love to see that guy get touched up, bro. I really would.
Yeah,
I really would. I know he protected, so to speak, in that way that they can protect these guys, but he really needs it,
the
bro.
fucker's house. His fucking house like a massive castle, man. That's where
damn slave plantation where he was having those fights on the back lawn. I remember that shit. Then everybody's tuning in. Yeah, let's watch the fights at Eddie's crib. Man, come on, man.
And Dillian got flatlined off Povetkin. And then I'll never forget that. About a week later, Eddie he come out and said the referee was wrong. He never get Dillian beat the count. What fucking count? What fucking count? He was fucking sparked out cold. Fucking hell.
That motherfucking legs was so stiff. You could have replaced them with two 2x4s and it wouldn't have looked any different.
Exactly. It was, when you see some fighters get hit, they like they bend or they go backwards or forwards. But sometimes I think it's very rarely when you see a fighter get hit and they actually they just freeze straight away, don't they, before they hit the floor? You just go like that straight away, and then it's proper timber. They don't even move, do you, Stormy?
Hey man, they call that rigor mortis.
Yeah, that's what the rigor mortis set in before. Fucking hell. He just went like that straight away, didn't he? Bang, fucking down.
Hearn was trying to convince people. Wait a minute. There's still a pulse.
Yeah. Fucking hell, yeah.
Fucking lying bastard. Get out of here.
Yeah. And then Eddie comes out and said he beat the count. Fucking hell. All right. Right, Stormy, I'm out of here, bro. Peace.
Hey, man. Thanks for having me on, man. I needed to come on and just kick it with you for a minute because, I told you I support you, brother.
Yeah, man.
So it's always good to see you on, I encourage you to do your thing, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So,
Michael, good to see you. Go and get them toenails cut, you dusty foot mother. You know what? Don't be having them dolphins running off when you're kayaking on you with your dusty feet hanging out your kayak, Mike.
Tyrone, and stop eating that damn Godzilla meat too, Mike. Leave that shit alone. It's bad for you.
Peace out, everybody.
All right, peace.
Check you later, Stormy. Peace.
All right,
brother.